about array and method manipulation. So today's lab is very important lab because I found that many people like you, so who are not familiar with, who are not responsible of coding on array. So they have problem with coding on array, and they also problem with coding to bypass, passing the array as an argument. So that's we're going to learn today. Okay, so we're going to learn the method implementations, as will be an array like class, an array object will be created. So he refers to the first part of that one. So that way you may think. Okay, so unlike declaration for primitive data type variables, the declaration of array variable does not allocate any space in memory for the array. Like this one is not allocating any memory for the array yet. So just the value will be null. Okay, so it creates only a storage location for the reference, only create a storage location for the reference to an array. But where he will point, this is not where, which address he will hold, this one not actually you define yet. So if the variable doesn't contain a reference to an array, the value of the variable is null. So it's not yet we given to the address of the array. So that's why the variable value is null now. Okay, so you cannot assign elements to an array unless it has already been created. Okay, so you cannot create an array by using the new operator. So after the array variable is declared, you can write an array by using the new operator and assign its reference to the variable with the following syntax. Like that, you can allocate. Let's see. I have here double my list. Double is the my list. So now my list is equal to null. There is no address. When I'm assigning this one, new element type array size. So that's mean that we are doing like this, like my list. Later I'm using my list equal or assign new. You are using new, and then what is the type of this one? Double type. So double 25. That's mean that you are allocating an address in the heap. So you have 25 array, you are allocating this address inside the heap. And the first address, so first thing is that, there are two tasks is happening in here. The first thing is that I have to allocate any space. So I'm allocating how many? Double. So how many double size array? So double size, how many? 25. So 25 elements of double type, I have an array like that. Sequentially, I have to arrange this one, allocate this one. So this is my array. Now, so you allocated 25 into like double is 8 by 16, I think.
8, sir, 8.
Yeah.
Double 8.
Yeah, 25 into 8. So this amount of memory you have to allocate. Now, when you say my list equals, so that's mean number 2, what you are doing this, number 2 is you are assigning my list to this value. If this one is the address of this one is 2566. So this address will be now my list. So you are assigning the address of the initial address of the array to the my list. So two tasks has been happening here. When you declare new this way, so that times you are basically allocating the space for array, and also you are providing the address, you are assigning the address to my list. So my list is now not null. So my list will be a value, a reference value, which is basically he will hold 2566, which is a memory address. You have to remember this one means memory address. Okay, so this one is a value of this one, but this is basically a memory address. Although this one is representing a value of my list variable. So my list is a reference variable. So obviously his value will be an address. Okay, so that's I have mentioned here. So you can now do the task at the same time, declare an allocations like double then my list equal new, and then the double array 25. You can also do the same way you can assign that one. Okay. Now here is the statements of double my list new double. What will happen here? The first thing is that you have to create one array in the heap, and you allocate some memory for 10 doubles. So 80 bytes you will allocate, corresponding 80 bytes. Okay, consecutively 80 bytes you will allocate, and then the mylist will point to the first address of the array. Okay, so -0 is this address, -1 is the next address, -2 in the next address. In that way you can refer the contents of the array. Okay, so that's basically the allocations happened. Okay, now task one. What is task one? The task one is write a program to prompt the user to enter 10 numbers, find and display the minimum value from them. So write a program to prompts to ask the user to enter 10 numbers, find and display the minimum value from them. Okay, fine. Now please follow me. Okay, well, how I'm doing the array. So if you follow me, you will understand. If you do programming with me, you will understand better than better than if you are not following. Okay, so let me turn on my fan. Yeah, so now, so I'm writing the program now. So I need JCreator. So JCreator I had open, although I have done the programs, but still I'm assigning for you so that you can understand very well. Okay, the first thing is that file, new file, and you have empty Java file. Okay, and then next. So in lab one, let's see lab one. So this one is the task one. Here's the task A1. You are C, right? Taxi1 dot Java. So taxi1 basically C section one task. Okay, so I'm entering this one. So taxi1. Okay, fine. Now, so I'm going to do the program. Please follow me as well. Okay. So first thing is that I have to declare, obviously, a class I have to take. So I'm taking public static void, public class, which is my driver class. So obviously I will have taxi1. So this is my driver class, right? So now inside this one I will have public static void main function I will have, and inside the function I have string array args. That's what we already did. Huh? We already did those things, right? Now, yeah. Now this is the part we have. Now we are going to write this one. So we are asking that we have to take 10 inputs. So we need to store them, the 10 input into my, we have to store them into the array, right? So that's why we have to declare first the array. So 10 inputs, okay? So declare first the array. So integer, let's see, I'm taking integer array type, integer array type. Let's see, my array name is numbers equal new integer, and then I'm telling that, okay, 10. So I have taken a 10 size array. So what does it mean here? That I have in the heap, I have allocated a 10 integer elements, elemented array, and then the first address will be provided to the number. So number knows now this address. So number will got the reference address. Fine. So now I want to take the value from the user, from the prompt from the users, and store the value to the array. Array is for storing and for retrieving data. You can store the data consecutively inside the array. And those data elements are same type. So that's why we use array, a collection of elements of same type elements which are consecutively stored inside the memory. So now for this one, okay, I always told you that whenever you are thinking about array, so please think about that for loop. Please think about the loop whenever we're going to use an array. So I'm using a loop for integer I equal 0, I less than numbers dot length. I told you that this is the best practice to use length in here. This is the best practice to use the length so that you may not have mistakes in here. Now the problem is that wire form number is getting length. That is the main issue. This is the main concern. Wire form the length is happening.
বিল্ট ইন ভাবে স্যার এটা করা থাকে।
Yeah. So if you think that this one is a class, so this one is a class. Whenever you are declaring a class and you are allocating the memory, that time is basically a length variable will be allocated in here. And this one is final, static final variable. Static and final variable. Whenever you have assigned one value, allocate the memory, that times you've got the value. And you will not change the value. Previously, I told you that this one can be coming from inheriting from class, but it is not inheriting. It is somehow they will define, automatically JVM will define the length variable inside the object. So that's why I always put like this rather than I place the array. Okay, rather than only the array I place, I put like this. So objects. So this one is placing in here. So this one is the first address. Now maybe length can be in here, can be declared as a variable, instance variable in here. Can be. I tried to find out the address of length. Is it the first one or is it the last one? I tried to find out, but I didn't find out because I can't find out because pointer is not working here in Java. So the address we cannot find out. Okay, so that's internally they are handling this one. So just remember, whenever you're gonna create an array, obviously they have supporting lengths. Somewhere in the object they will have the variables they will allocate for you. You don't need to worry about these things. Okay, so this one is the fixed and it is static, and whenever you are writing this one, so a variable will be declared which is static and final. Whenever you are assigning value, then this value will be assigned to the length. And once you are assigning, once you have assigned, you cannot change this value. Once you have assigned, you cannot change this value. That's basically the array.length can provide. Now, we have to scan the input from the user. We know that for scanning the input from the user, we need to import java.util.scanner. So this class is required. So we have to create a scanner. So scanner objects, which is input equal new scanner. That's you already know. You are familiar. So I'm making it a little bit faster so that you can understand. System.in. So this is our scanner objects we have, scanner reference variable we have created. Now here also I want to make a printf system.out.println. I'm going to print that enter 10 elements. So that's I want. So then now here. Now you see what I can do, how I can assign the values. As my array name is number, so I can do in this way. Let's see, I'm stopping this one, okay? Let's say I don't have the for loop options, okay? Let's say I don't have this one. What I can do, I can take like this, okay? Let's see, I will take the input. So I can talk in dot next int integer, right? In that way, I can take the input, and first input I took, and then I stored them into the numbers. So numbers 0. So first element, first location, I can assign. Then the same thing I can copy several times, and I can assign like 10 times, and I can assign this one, okay, for different location in of the array. So I told you that the array location dependent, so I can assign the next value to 1, then the next value to 2, the next value to 3, and then next value to 9 I can assign. Okay, can it possible to assign in 10? Is it? So the array bound exception will be thrown. The error will be thrown that array bound exceptions. You cross the limit, you cross the size, you cross the boundary of this array. So we cannot do this one. So we are removing this one, first thing. Now the point is that as we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 sequentially, we are accessing the indexes. So after 0, 1 will come, then 2, then 3. So we know from our previously that we have seen that we can use a variable in the index. We can use this one, and this index will represent, this value of the variable will represent as an index. So first I will be 0, then later I plus plus. So the second one will come, then I plus plus, third one will come, then I plus plus, fourth one. In that way we can sequentially do. So why not writing rather than 10 maybe is okay. How about 1,000? Then it may be difficult for you to write. So rather than writing this one, you can write a for loop. You can write a for loop and you can provide just the statement like that. That is statements, and you can place it here. You can place it here so that I do not need to I do not need to write. But however, when the compiler will exit, obviously he will do like that, 0. So 0 place he will write, then he will go to 1 place, then he will go to 2 place, then he will go to 3 place. But I do not need to write them because I'm using a for loop and I use the index to represent the elements number. Okay, so that way basically we can initialize, we can assign values to our array. Now this is the one way we have represented. Okay, fine. Another way is that now we have to print, or we have to find out the minimum one. Fine. The minimum one we have to find out. How can you find out the minimum one? We have assigned the value to the array. So this is our array, and we have some value. Now how to find out the minimum one from here? How to find out the minimum one? We have to compare, right? So this one we can compare with this one, we can compare with this one, and all time minimum value we have to take, right? Okay, so what I'm telling is that why not I have taken a variable which is called minimum, and minimum will have the highest value. Let's see the values I'm placing in 32,657, which are called magic numbers. We have given some default value. So now when you compare with this one, so obviously this one, these are minimum, right, of this one. So when you compare with this one, that if mean is greater than number 0, then mean equal to number 0. So this one we compare, so the minimum one will come to here. So minimum one will take 1 now. Now we'll compare the minimum one I got. So now I'll compare minimum with 2. So if 2 is minimum, so 2 will come here. Otherwise, I will not change. In that way, so minus 3, so minus 3 will come here. So minimum is minus 3 now. Now we compare with 4 and 5, we have minus 3 is the minimum, so minus 3 will be the minimum. So if we got the minimum, we'll update, otherwise we are not going to update. So that way basically we can do the finding minimum problems, right? We can solve finding minimum problems. Let's see how can we store. So I have to take a variable, it is mean. Let's see which I'm giving a big value. Let's say 2 lakh. Okay, so that the array elements are not 2 lakhs. Okay, they are less than 2 lakhs always. So now if we have minimum value, this one, the maximum value I have representing in minimum. So now what I can do, I can use the for loop again. So the same things I can do. So I have the for loop because I have to traverse all the items. All the items. I have to compare with all the items. So I have placed the for loop in here. Now I have to compare with all the items. So I am going to compare. So how can I compare? I have to write if. So if minimum is greater than number I, so number I is the minimum. So minimum should be updated. So minimum equal to numbers I. Otherwise, I do not need to update. Okay. So in that way, if I complete the loop, I always compare minimum one with the number. So minimum one with Rahim, minimum one with Kareem, minimum one. So when the minimum one I am tracing, so that times I will point out that whose one is the minimum one. So when I'm going to Kareem, so Rahim and Kareem already the minimum one I find out between these two. When I go to third number, so already 1, 2, 3, I already find out the minimum one. If I will complete the fourth one, that's mean 1 to 4, already the minimum one I complete. So when you traverse the array, so which part you are, you basically complete the minimum one, you already find out this one. So now we are printing this one. So system.out.println. Fine. And then we are printing minimum, right? So this is the minimum. Or we can say here minimum value is like minimum value is, and then we plus, right? So this one. So this is our programs. We are asked to do that program. So we have completed. So let's see that there is no error. So I'm running this one now. Fine. So now 10 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 6, 7, 8, 9, then 10. And when I enter this one, so the minimum value is minus 6, he find out the minus 6 one. That way, basically, we can find out the minimum value and we can do the program. So what did we learn here? We learned that how to store the values into array and from the console basically, and then how we can compare and find out the minimum value from the array. So we can compare the values and find out the minimum one from them. Okay, so that's our concern in the first program. Now we're going to the second program. Modify the task one to use for each loop. Okay, fine. Now we have here, let's see here, let's see this one. What we have done for integer I equal to 0, I less than number dot length I plus plus. I want to use another way to represent this one, okay, which is basically called for each. Maybe who has done the C sharp, they knows that for each. So we are using for each by using for keyword, okay. So for each loop we're going to use. So let's see, I am taking integer. What is the type? The item type is integer, right? So the element type is integer. Integer element, where from numbers, array name numbers. So each elements will come to each number. From number, each element will come to this variable, and this variable now will do the task, and then we'll come to the next one. So next, indexing variable, you don't need to let him know index, because for each will automatically take sequentially the values. So I do not need to make index here. I will compare like element. So the first number is an element, okay? So that's why I will compare with the elements, the first number. So first number has been implemented in element. So first number has came to the element, and element will compare with the minimum one. Minimum is greater than elements, then minimum will come to element. Then second number will come to element, then we'll compare with elements. In that way, we'll continue to every number, okay? So every number we are retrieving now. Retrieving is we are taking the value and put it into a variable, and then compare with the variable. Then second value will take this one, second element value, we're accessing this one and actually placing it to element. So this way, basically this loop will execute. And sequentially we are accessing that one. That's why we can implement the array into for each loop. Okay. So this one is called for each loop. You can see that is it okay or not? One, minus 2, 3, 4, minus 5, 6, 7, 8, minus 9, 10. So minimum number is minus 9. So which is basically find out from traversing these elements. So first number 1 will come to element, then minimum 1 and 1 will compare. Then minus 2 will come to element. So minimum 1 and minus 2 will compare, always with the minimum 1. And minimum 1 will update with the minimum value. When he find out the minimum, then him. So he will update himself. So in that way, minus 5 will update the minimum. Then we have 9, minus 9 will update the minimum. And 10 is greater than, so will not be updated. So minimum will be minus 9 we have. So that will be printed. Now, we can also input from the user by using how? Tell me how. You don't have value. You don't have value. All are zero initially. All are zero initially. So the for loop. So that's why I'm using for loop. You understand? That's why I didn't touch this. There is something is in there. That's why I didn't use this one. I came to here. Why? Because you have to collect the data. There is no data. How can you collect that one? So you have to assign the data first. Do you understand? That's the reason I didn't touch this one. I came to here. Okay. Okay. Now Now you can say that, sir, why we need this code, right? Very right. Why we need this code? Can we reduce this program? Yes, I can reduce this program, but I don't want to. I want you to learn this way. Okay, I can reduce. I can make optimum more optimum one. I can take this one in here. That's done. Okay, but I want to use this loop so that you can learn. And why? You can understand my next task. Did you understand what I said now? First I said
Yes,
I
sir.
do not need this loop to execute. I can find out the minimum from this loop, inside this loop. But I want you to learn this one separately so that we have some things to do. So that's why I'm using this one. Okay. Now, what is our next task? Next task, modify the program in task 1 by writing a method that finds the smallest elements in an array of double values using the following header. Okay. Modify the program in task 1 by writing a method that finds the smallest element. Now you have to write down a method which is this one, and we have to modify the program. So this method will find out the minimum one. So I'm see how I'm doing the program. Okay, so I'm copy this one because this is my program header. So I'm copy this header. Okay, now see I'm writing, this is my main function. Main function, after the main function I place this one, public static void main, but remember this one should be avoided. Okay, now this is my minimum function. So they told me that now find out the minimum by using this minimum method. Okay, I'm restricted now. I have to use this minimum method. So this one is passing array double. Okay, so I have to assign the array to double because I have to pass this array to there, which can be double. So I have to do double, not integer. So now I'm taking double array. Fine. Now the value should be double. So I change here. So next double. So value is coming to double now. Fine. Now this code should not be here. Okay. So I'm collecting this code. I'm taking this code from here to here in this method because this is the minimum, finding out minimum code. That's why I use for loop. Okay. So this one is here. Fine. Now here you see the number is not here. So number is not here. So it's inside we have array. So we have to use array then rather than number. So actually I would like to write my array. Okay, that's better. My array, which is much more readable, that inside this function array. So my array I have written. Okay, so that's it. Now for minimum one also need to be double, and it can be 0. Okay, so that's we have taken. Now fine. Now see the minimum one find out in here, but I have to take in here. I want to print in here in the main function. So I have to return this one. I have to return this value. So for returning this one, what the type has been declared? Double. So I have to return a double value from this function. Return double value. What is the double value? Minimum one I have to return. So minimum. Okay, now the question is, sir, you have written minimum as a function name and minimum is in here. Yeah, that's we cannot do. We have to change this one, minimum, so that there should not be any confusion. The function name we have changed. Okay. Now this is okay. The minimum one has been complete. One array he will take, and this array will find out the elements, the minimum one, and this minimum one will return because this one is the double. Just remember this. Don't focus about this two now. Just remember these things. When you say this one is a function name, inside the functions we have formal parameters. We are sending formal parameters. So formal parameters will define that what kind of task you are doing in the function. So minimum from where? From the array. So you are declaring a formal parameter. So someone will send me an array And this array, I am going to find out the minimum one. I will return the minimum one because I have the return value is double. Fine. Well, good. Now, so this code has been, processing code has been done. Now I have to utilize heap. I have to call heap. So invoke. So I'm invoking from the main functions. How can I invoke? So I will call this one mini. I'm calling the function name. Okay. And I'm calling like that. Okay. Now the point is that which one minimum will we find out? We want to find out the minimum of this array. So we have to pass this array. So when we are passing this array, remember this one. What is this? What is this? Yeah, did you remember that I have given you one thing, that when you declare an array, let's see, integer array a equal 1, 2, 3. That way we can initialize an array, right? So that time this array size is also 3. Yes or no? Same way, if we declare integer array b, can you do that? Integer array b, we take another array. Now b equal to a, we say that it is possible. It doesn't mean that b will allocate a separate memory. Both have size 3. It also has size 3. It also has size 3. But it doesn't mean that both has separate array. What is happening here? What is happening here? Yes, that's what we are doing. So how? Let's see, for A1, we are telling that there is a inside one heap, we are creating one array and we are placing the values in there. And the address of this one will be allocated to A. So A is basically, A is the value of this one. A is pointing to this one. That means A has a value of reference variable. This one is a reference variable. So this one is a reference variable, as this one you can think as a class. So A equal to, let's see, 500. So that means this address value is 500. Now when you say B equal to A, that means B also 5,000. So B is also a reference variable of A. So B will point to this one as well. So whatever the things we can do with A, that we can do with B as well. Whatever the size of this array, so B will also have the same size of this array. Is it clear? That's what you're going to do when you pass the array to the method. You see here. Now, we have a declared array. We have a declared array which is 10 size. So we have a declared array which is 10 size. Size is 10. Let's say 9, 10. So we have 10 size array. So, and we also assign the values in here. Okay, fine. Double values we assign. Now, this array is representing by number. So numbering here. And we also have an array here, my array. If my array want to point in this place, so this number value, which is, let's say, 6,000, which is basically the address of this one, we just need to pass this value to here. You understand? So I have to pass number is here. So when I pass the number, so that means this value, so this is the address. So he is also going to take an address because this one is an also reference variable. So he also take the address. You pass this address to here. So now my array has got this value, 6,000. So he is also pointing to here. So my array 0 is this one, my array 1 is this one, my array 2 is this one. This is called basically pass by sharing. So they are sharing. You are passing the value basically. You are passing the value. Number has value. So that value you are passing. But this value is a reference value of an array in the heap of an memory address. So that's memory address is taken. Now you are accessing this one by using array. So my array 0, 1, 1, 2, all are coming to the element. And the same way basically we are doing in this one. The same way we are doing this one. Yes. If local variable, obviously we can do the same name, no problem. Like here, if local variable, but in the same function, you cannot have two name of array, same array. You understand? But if local variable, then it's okay, no problem. You can put the same name. Okay. Like here, I'm using this one. Let's see, I'm using this one. Integer mean. Now I'm holding this value to here, mean. So this mean and this mean are different because they are the local value. This double number is inside the main method, main function. So this one, my array is inside this one. So if you take the same number, same name as a number, then also the same thing will happen. No problem in here. So this one is the local variable, right? So that will be a stack. This one will be in a stack. This one will be in a stack. So if they have same number, same name, no problem at all. Okay. So now my minimum has been done. So minimum has been completed. And also I have taken 10 double value and I'm finding out the minimum by using the minimum function. He will do, I pass the reference variable. Through the reference variable, he can access my array, and then through that array, he will find out the minimum one, and the minimum one he will pass. So actually, I pass my array, which is I pass my first address of the array as a pass by value. I pass the value to here. He got the value, and because he's the reference variable, so that one has been an address. So when he is referencing this one, this address has been used. So we are sharing the same address, same array address to both functions. Okay, that way basically array, the total array we didn't pass. We passed the first address location. And this one is not reference. This one is by pass by value. Because the address is the value of this reference variable. The variable is reference variable. The variable is reference variable. He can manipulate with the address. But his value is value, right? So this one has a value. That value is variable. That value is reference value. But you will manipulate with that within the memory allocation, memory reference. But we are passing basically value. You understand this one? That's why in Java, we always do pass by value. There is no pass by reference in here. Pass by value. This one is a special kind of treat in Java. So that's the calling a pass by value. Let's see our program is working or not. So we are going to place this one. Oh, there is a problem in here. What is minimum? Oh, should be double because should be double because we have the double value in here. We are sending the double value. And how can I take the integer one? So I have to cast it in. I didn't do any casting, so this is not possible. Oh, what is this now? Oh, it should be double now. It should be double. The element also should be double because he will hold, now he is holding double value. So every element is double. It should be declared as a double. Now I'm running this one. And now I'm placing this one. So as I copied from previous code, that's why the mistake is there. Okay. 1.1, 1.2, 2.3, 3.4, minus 4.5. So how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. See, the minimum value is 4.5, so it's working perfectly. So 4.5 is the minimum value. Fine. That's good. Now, any question in here? Do you understand how we are passing? That's what we are talking here. Java uses pass by value to pass the argument to a method. There are important differences between passing the values of variables or primitive data type and passing array. Okay, primitive data type, what will happen? Passing array, what is happening? For an argument of primitive type, argument value is passed. For an argument of array type, the value of the argument is a reference to an array. This reference value is passed to the method. This reference value passed to the method. So we are telling that the argument and type is different. So these things are different. Let me check here. Let's see, I'm passing one things like aloha value. So integer aloha, which is let's say to 20. Okay. Now here I want to pass this value aloha. Okay. So let's see. I'm passing this one integer a. So as I change here the parameters, so I have to change here the parameters I have to pass as well. The argument I also need to pass. The argument is like, let's say I'm passing aloha. So if I do here a equal to a plus 30, and then when I do print system out println the element value, no, the a value is at the rate of minimum function. So a value in minimum function. You see, in a we pass the value we have passed, and this value we make this one a plus 30. So that a plus 30 has came here. So a plus 30 means 50 will be printed here. But if you take this one, I want to print it here. I want to print it here. Okay, before calling the aloha value. Aloha value I do not need. I'm just doing that aloha at the rate of aloha at the rate of, let's see, what is this function main? At the rate of main, where I have the aloha value, and also at the rate of main before calling minimum. Okay, and after calling minimum. Let's see after. That's it. So what I want is that I want to show you that although we have passed value in here as well, but this value is changing, a value is changing, this is doesn't reflect to here, the aloha. So the call by value is like call by value. But when you say array, we are changing this one. If you change the value to my array, it will also change the value to number as well, because they are sharing the reference value. So although this one is called by value or passed by value, but this is not passed by reference, but still changes in the with the reference value will be changed in here. But normal printf, normal elements, primitive type data, the value you are changing here, that will not reflect the variables in here. So let's see. No, we are not returning anything. I will just show you that what will happen for array. So let's say I have this one 1.1, 1.2, 12, 3.4, 4.5, 5.6, 7, 8, 9. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's say this one. So you see the aloha value is 20 before, and still aloha value is 20. So the aloha value didn't change, although the a value has been changed. A value has been changed. Aloha value has taken to the a value. A value has been changed, and that reflecting to only change in the a value. But it is not changing the aloha value. Okay. But for array, what will happen? If I will change in here the reference value, did I change in here? Let's see this one. Okay. Let's we're gonna see this one. Okay. That's what I want to show here. So let's go and see more details about this one. So that's why we have to go for task 4. What is task 4? Write a program to define main method and declare the local integer array. Then call a method readArray, which prompts the size of the array. Very important program. Please try to understand. From the size of the array from the user. It also prompts the user to enter the size number of elements and stores them into the array. Return the array. Fine. First, we're going to do this one. Let's see. Okay. Let's go for this one. I'm changing this one. Okay. So let's see an integer array. I'm taking here, but I cannot allocate the size. I will not allocate the size. Fine. And I will have a readArray function. Let's see, I'm taking a function. Oh, I will change this one. Okay, I will take a readArray function. Okay. ReadArray function. ReadArray function, and which will return an array. Okay, which will read the elements, store the elements in here in the array, and then return the array. Okay, so the return is integer array. You will return an integer array. Okay, now fine. I am deleting these things because I do not need those. Now I am taking this one. You can see scanner. I need this one. 10 elements. What the elements I don't know. How many elements I have to take, but I need those. I'm taking this one. So I have placed in here read array. So first, they mentioned that first you have to scan the size of the array. So I have to take a local array. See here, integer. You can say local array. Integer array, local array, which doesn't have any size. I will take the size from the user. Okay, so I am taking the size. Enter the size of the array. The size of the array. So you will provide the size. So I have to take the size in the size variable, integer size. So I want to take the size variable in here, size equal. This one I'm gonna use integer because I have to take an integer value because of the size should be integer. Array size should be integer. So this one. And I'm taking the integer array, so let's take integer. Now the array name is local array, so I have to change this one to local array. And here also I will change the local array. So what does it do? It will do, okay, now I'm telling that enter size number of elements. So I am taking enter. So first he told that calls a method readArray, which prompts the size. We take the size, okay, we take the size. Now, it also prompts the user to enter the size number of elements. Whatever the size, that amount of elements. Okay, so we are telling that, okay, enter the size amount of elements. Or we can say like that, enter plus size 10 elements. Okay, so if size is 10, so 10 elements. So we are doing this way. So size plus size, and we are doing plus, and here we are giving elements. That's it. Yeah. So enter size elements. So that is the string will come because we are size is automatically will convert to string. So he will add with that strings. Okay, so that's we did. So this one is fine. Now we're gonna do here. I want to close this. Now I want to call read. I want to call read array. Okay, so I want to call read array. Read After read array, you will return me an array, local array. You will return the local array because the array he will return. So he will return the local array, RUTUR, and return local array. So he will return the local array. Fine, I got the local array. So he will return the local array, and I put this one to number. The same thing also happened here. That this one is allocating the memory. So now the opposite one. Okay. Previously he allocated the memory. Now he will allocate the memory, and we'll take the size. We'll take the size and we'll allocate the memory. We do not have the size yet. So we'll allocate the memory. How can we allocate the memory? Local, please stand by in here. Okay, please watch. Local array equal new integer, not a fixed. I'm giving the size. That size I will collect from the user. So my array will be dynamically fixed number of size. Whatever the user will give, that size he will take. So that is the size to my array. Now my array size you are defining. That it can be 3, it can be 4. So during the runtime you will decide. Once it has been allocated, the time it has been fixed. The size I am giving. Okay, the size can be anyone that's taken from the user. Is it clear? That's very interesting, right? Now, this amount and local array is dynamically whatever the size you have given, that amount of elements is taken. Okay, the loop will continue that amount of time. The size, that's mean the length of the array. So that amount of time he will execute. Okay, now the point is that when you send the local array, so now basically what you are doing, here you are creating the array. And depending on your, what is the size, I don't know. Depending on the user will give the size. So that amount of size has been created. This one is the local array will be point to this one. Local array will point in here. So I pass this address. So I'm now passing this address, return. So passing this address. So basically now number will point here. Number will point here. So I didn't allocate the number. Automatically this one has been allocated. So I can use by the numbers, I can use this one. You understand? So let's clear this one, and I'm going to call a new things I want to show here. A new style of programming. This one is system dot out dot println. Here I am calling a method which is in java dot util dot arrays. This one has a method which is called toString. Whatever you place in this string, in this method, you will convert that to a string. So you will return a string, and that string will come here, and I will print that string. Okay. Now, what will be the string? If I place the number, so numbers is an array. Numbers is an array. So you will convert the full array elements into a string, and that string you will return, and that I'm going to print. You understand? I'm printing because println always take the string. So that's mean in one line I can print the full array. Okay. So that's what we are doing. Now I'm going to run this program. So that's my program I want to do. So first I will do this one and I'll check that is it working or not. So verify. And then I'm going to run this one. Now see. Enter the size of the array. Let's see 3 size. My array size is 3. You want to take 3 elements. So the 3 elements is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. When I said 1, 2, 3, then I enter. So 1, 2, 3 array has been assigned by the readArray functions. And then he sent back this array to my number, and I'm printing the number. So number will be printed in an array. So 1, 2, 3 will be printed as a string. So see, 1, 2, 3 will be printed as a list in the string. So that has been printing 1, 2, 3. Numbers is printing. Do you understand? As a string. You can print them manually, but the number will be printed this way. Any question? Did you understand how? No. Only two string. Only two string we have. This method is returning. This method is a built-in method inside the object. Static method inside the object class. Object class is the parent of all the classes. So everyone can call toString. I can call normally toString, I can call. Okay, but to show you that arrays are working, so arrays.toString numbers. Number will be, so toString, what the toString will do, whatever you will pass in here, a plus b, the value will convert it to string. The value 5, the 5 will be converted to string, and this one has been converted. So my array has been converted to string, and then I print this one. So that happened here. Okay. Now, in my task, I have one to call another method printArray to print the elements of the array. Okay, fine. Now you see, I have changed here, and I passed the reference value. You see, I have passed the reference value. So whatever I have made changes in here in the array, I am collecting that one. Also, you can see another function can collect this one also. Let's see, I'm not doing this one. I'm calling here printArray. And I'm passing number. Now the question is that if I don't know the length, there is no allocations. What from here will get the length? The length will be assigned already with this one. We're on that address, object address. So you are sharing this length basically. You are this one means this object length. You are getting this one. So I can call in this way. So I do not need to return anything because I'm going to print. So just write print function. So public static void. I do not need to return anything, void. And my function should be printArray. And it will take the numbers. So I'm telling the same format I will use, that local array or my array, you can take it this way, integer. So I'm passing the reference variable, which is integer array types, which is integer array type. Number we are passing integer array type. So that type of variable I'm taking, which is my array. I'm removing those. I can use this sentence and I can print my array. That's enough. But I want to let you know that also that here I can use the length as well. My array.length I plus plus, and I'm printing system.out.println. Okay, system.out.println. I'm printing my array. That's local I'm deleting. So that's mean that I have this one. So I am returning my array. So I'm printing my array I. I'm printing this one. And this one is not returning anything because we have void. So I'm taking this one, the reference value, and from there I can find out the length value variable, and from this I can collect the variable value, and I am referencing to this one. I'm printing this one. So this length, the length of this array, and the length of this one is the same. The size you are giving all are same. Why? Because we are basically sharing the same array. We are not creating, we are not passing the array. We are sharing the array. And the array is in memory. We are sharing the memory difference. That's it. You understand? That's it. Basically, we are doing this one. So I'm running this one. So enter the size of the array. Let's see, 4 size I have given. So 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 2. These are the 4 elements. Now printing is system by one by one. So it's coming like 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay. So that way we can print. You can also call like this. You can also call like this. System dot. You can also call like this. Okay. There is another function inside array. So I'm showing you the array also. Okay. This array class has some functions to use with arrays, manipulate with array, like the sorting that we have seen, right? So the sorting you can see here, Arrays.sort. And then I have this one, okay? And I place the numbers, array name. So what this function will do, this function will automatically sort, right? Automatically sort your elements. And these elements has been passed to print. So number has been already sorted, okay? Let's see. Sort is will take ascending order, okay? Sort will take ascending order, okay? I'm giving 5. So now 5 elements is 1, 3, minus 2, 4. Let's see 2. The output is minus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's mean he has been made sorting and sorting has been printed. So that way you can sort. Okay. There is also another interesting thing. We can find out searching as well. Java.util.array.search. Okay. Like this one. The array has been sorted. So let's see binary search we're going to run. So java.array.binarySearch. I think S is capital. Let me check. S is capital or not. So they have like binary search. Yeah, binary search. S is capital. You see? Binary search. Okay. Number, comma. Let's say 3. We're going to find out 3. If you find out the elements inside the array, then the index will return. So if you print this one, system.out.println, you'll see the number will return. The number will return. Whatever the index you find out, that number will return. Okay, let's run. Let's see 4. I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3, and which is in 0, 1, 2 index. So index will be returned. Index number will be returned, which is basically 2. You see, first is 2. And then the sorting 1, 2, 3, 4. So sorting has been happened, then 1, 2, 3, 4 is printing. Okay. So the 3 is in index number 2. So if the value is in the, if the binary search will do, then inside the array, if the value is in the list or array, then 3 is in the array. So he will return the index. Now, if the value is not here, let's say I'm giving 5. Then what will happen? Let's see what happened. Let's see the array size of this array is, let's say I'm taking 6. And what are the 6 elements? Let's see 1, 3, then 7, then 8, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see I'm taking a sorted order. Okay. So 1, 3, 7, 8, so 2, and then I'm taking 10, and then I'm taking 11. So this 6 value I have presented. So now see, first see, it will be sorted. So the same value will come. So now 5 he will search. He is not getting 5 in here. But which index 5 can be? 0, 1, 2. So 2 index 5 can be. So he will print 2 index, that's mean the insertion index. This one is the insertion index. If 5 is not here, where I can insert? So I can insert in 2 number index. So he will place the output is insertion plus 1 and negative sign. Negative insertion plus 1 index. You understand? Let's see. So he will print -3 basically. Oh, I already done. So you will print -3. You see, -3. And this is sorted array. So -3, this means that 0, 1, 2. So 2 index is the insertion index. So he will do +1, 3, and minus sign will be there. So that's the theory I am telling. If he is not at the rate of array, return minus insertion index +1. So 2 + 1, 3. So -3, he will return -3. Is it clear? So insertion index +1. There is also another one which is called java.util.arrays.equals. These functions will tell true or false. If you can check true or false. Remember this one, the list 1 or array 1 and array 2 will be the same number, same size and same number, then they are equal. They have the same size, the both array will be the same size and contains same number, then they are called equal. Then it will be true. Otherwise, every time it will get false. You can manipulate this one, this array, this one also. But still, I have this one. I didn't do this one. Let's do this one. Okay. I left this one because of this two I want to add here. Okay. So I'm going to now do this one. Random shuffling. So this is my random shuffling. Have you played card? Have you played card? How many people play card? Nobody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Who is there?
Sumaya.
Sumaya, you play card.
Sir, normal in the computer I used to play.
Okay.
That time, sir, randomly choosing one can
Okay.
come.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Good. Like any other one? Any other person? Okay. I know you play card, but you are not going to mention this one, right? You are afraid. No, card game is not bad. You can play sometimes, but not with money. That's the thing. Okay. Like shuffling, when you do this way, and you see that you have one part of card and another part, and you shuffle. One will insert to another one, right? Randomly you place the number of card in different location. That's basically called shuffling, right? That's what we're gonna do here. The number will shuffle. The array will shuffle. When you play a hard, you say shuffle. So the random numbers will come and randomly the card will place, right? So Maya, you played this one, right?
Yes, sir. And sometimes I play with my father,
Yeah.
and it's fun. We
Yes.
play chess and card. It's
Yes.
fun.
Yes. I used to play card with my uncles and my fathers always. Like when we have holidays, we going to the vacation. We sit with the card and we play together.
In
Actually,
the quarantine, we played at home and also the chess also.
yes, yes, yes. That's you can do card chase or the crumb board, right? So you can do these kind of things, right? So random shuffling, the functions we're going to use in on our array. Okay. So let's see this one. Okay. Now I'm going to write that functions now. Okay. So read array, print array. Now I'm going to assign one functions which name is public static, and we're gonna obviously we have to change the array. We are going to change the array, and that changes will happen to there. So we have to send back this array. So that's why we need to send the array the reference variable, which is integer type, and then we have random shuffling. This is my array. So random shuffling will not only, he will also take the array as well. So integer, while I'm writing integer, so it will also take the integer array like my array. We will take my array as well. Okay. Okay. So this is my random shuffling model. So I'm not going to call those things here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to use them here. So I'm going to call random shuffling here. So random shuffling, when I will call random shuffling, so I will send my numbers. So I'm not calling sorting and other things, okay? Just in the numbers, and I will place after shufflings, I will also place this one to number. So this one will go number will shuffle, and then new array will come, and this array I'm going to feed. Okay, fine. Now how to do shuffling? So first, you see what we'll do. Okay, let me write the code and then we'll check. First, what I will do is a for loop. I will create a for loop for integer I equals 0, I less than my array dot length and I plus this. So that one I had. Huh? Did I click insert? Yeah, now it's okay. Now I had is that I have to return return my array. That's for sure. Okay. Now here, what I do, I got I. If you want to swap with one value with another value, like this is my array. Let's see, this is my array. I want to swap with this value and this value. How can I swap? I need the index of this one. Let's see, index is j, and this one is the index I. So I need to swap this value, right? So I need to create a random index, which is from 0 to the size 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 to 4. So I have to create an index randomly. That will be j. J can be any index from 0 to 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So j is now 3. So randomly I have chosen. Let's see, j is 3. Now I will swap these two. So that's mean I'm swapping the array. So the array will be changed. In that way, the number of time I will swap this one, shuffle I will do, the number of time the array elements we have, the total array elements we have. So for each I will create a j and I will shuffle this one. So I'm taking I from the last one. Okay. So now I'm going to show you the reverse way. How can the reverse way will work? So I equal to my array length minus 1 is I is greater than equals 0 and I minus minus. So I took I as a 5. So I is now 4 basically. I is in here. Okay, j I don't know what is the j will come. So I have to randomly create a j which will be inside 0 to 4. Okay, that's what I need to do. So to do that, what I'm doing here, I'm taking integer j. I'm creating a j which is equal to Math.random. Integer casting I need to do. Okay, so because Math.random is a double number. So I'm going to show you Math.random. This is the function we have. And this function will provide us a value from 0 to 0.0 to 0.99. Any value we will give. Math.random will provide us 0.0 to 0.99, something is value. This means greater than value of 0, greater than equal to value of 0 to less than 1 in the floating point, the value they can give. I will multiply this value. Let's say I got 99.99. So I will multiply this value with my I plus 1 into my I plus 1. So I will multiply this value into my I plus 1. I plus 1. So this will provide me, if I is 4, so that means it will come 5. So 5 into 99. So you will get 5 into 99 means 4 point something. Right? 4 point something. Yes or no? 99 into 5, you will get 4.9, something like that, right? So if you make it integer, so you will get 4. So remember this one. The highest value you can get 4. And the lowest value, if it is 0, so I plus 1, 4, that means 0. So it is 0.1, what will happen? So you are getting 4, 0.4, which is index is 0. So your value will be, if I plus 1, depending on I plus 1, your value will be 0 to 4. If I plus 1 is the 3, so I plus 1 is the 5, so that's why you got, like I plus 1 is the 5, that's why you got the value from 0 to 4. If your I plus 1 is 3, so you will get the value from 0 to 2. Okay, is it clear? So we are doing that. Now let's see, I plus 1 is 3. What will happen? 3 into 3 plus 1. So I plus I is 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 into 9 is basically 2. So your I, so your value is coming 0 to I. Is it clear or not? So this value, j value will come 0 to I. Is it clear? Any value from 0 to I. So 0, 1, 2. If I is 2, 0, 1, 2, any value will come from 0 to 2. If I is 3, so any value will come from 0 to 3. Okay, so any index will come 0 to 3. Which one will come, we don't know, because depending on the random numbers, depending on the float numbers, we can generate this one, right? So now, fine. So that means that this one will give us a value which is from 0 to I. Okay, now we got an index from I, and we want to get another index from 0 to I. So we are starting from the last one. So we got this one. This one is our I index. So now we want to find out any index from 0 to I, which is Z. So randomly we can calculate and generate 0 to I any one index. And now we can swap. So that's randomly shuffle with any one. If this one will come, then we'll swap this one. So randomly we are doing swap. So now we are swapping this one. So swap required a temporary variable, which is, let's see, integer. 10. Why swap is required 10 temporary variable? Because if you directly place, you see here, if I have array, so this one elements to this place. If I have 5 and if I have 10 in here, if I want to place this item directly in here, so then this item will be lost. Or this item, if I want to place in here, this item will be lost. So we need a third part where I can store these items in here, like 5. And then if I remove this one, no problem. So these items will go there. And then this item I can place in here. So that I will not lost any value. This one is my 10. Okay. So that's why I'm going to take a 10 value. I'm going to take a 10 value. So 10 equal to my array I, and then my array I equal to my array j. Then my array j equal to m. So now j will come anyone, I don't know which one because it's randomly will be created, anyone from 0 to I. So I value is my length, so 0 to 5 first, then 0 to 4, then 0 to 3. In that way, shuffling will do. And that shuffling, we are taking this one. So swap will do. And that swap, we are taking this one. So that way, basically, the array will shuffle. Let's see, is it correct or not? There's an error. So which one? Integer j. So which one, basically?
The variable isn't declared, maybe.
Let me check this one. Okay, so I have this code. So I'm picking this one. I don't have here. So I have in D document. D document, and here I want to confirm this one. Okay, so let's see. This one is in 7. No, not 7. It is in 3. 3. Yeah. So shuffling integer j equal to integer math or capital math. Capital math. And this is a function. So math, capital math. Okay, so I have this one. Math.random is a function. Yeah, I did. So math is capital. This one is smaller, right? So math.capital. Let's take this thing. I'm taking this one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now we're gonna see that is it running or not. Let's see. Okay, into the size of this array. See, I am taking 5. Now I'm taking the input 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here, The values is coming first 3, then 1, then 4, 5, 2. Randomly. Next time if you do again, so it will change the values. Let's see. I'm giving 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So see 1, 4, 2, 5, 3. So randomly it will change the values. It will shuffle. And that array we are going to print in here. Okay. That's we are printing in here. Printing in here. So that's the program in task 3 we had. So task 4 we had. Okay. So we complete the task 4. Now, how much time we have? Okay. We have 30 minutes. Okay. Now we have this one we already complete. Now this one is the last one we had. This one we'll learn from the object instantiations. Okay. Now, method can be overloaded. Overloading methods enable you to define the method with the same name as long as their parameter lists are different. So overloading methods, like you can have two methods with same name in your program. Java can support this one. Method overloading, this one is called. We'll learn these things more details when you go for method lecture. Next class, we'll start method. So we'll learn more things about overloading the next class. So overloading will happen when you have same name. The method name is same, but the parameters are different. Method name is same, parameter type is different. Number of parameters is different. Okay, either number of parameters is different or the type is different. That's basically called method overloading. Same name method you can use for different type variable. Okay, so now we're gonna see this one in our program now. Okay, that how we can use method overloading. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use two arrays. So let's see integer array, and I'm calling readArray. Okay, and I'm calling a function rather than number shuffle. Let's see the book number shuffle. I'm going to call printArray. So this array and printArray that I have, those are basically using the integer number. Now I want to use another one, which is basically double. Let's see number D. So this one is an array which is double type. And I want to call the same type of arrays. You see, the same type of function I am going to call readArray. readArray. Okay, so readArray will be different parameters. Okay, so I want to write. Okay, let's pass the. Okay, let's define the array in here. I don't want to just read that. Okay, let's define the array in here. New integer 10. And double new D is also new integer, new double 10. These two array, I want to manipulate with two same functions. Let's say readArray, which will take number, allocate the numbers, the value will be taken, and then allocate, then return. And printArray will think. The same way, I will use number D here. I will pass number D, which is double. So it should be number D. And then I will pass number D here. You're going to see that this array name, the function name, and this function name are same. But the parameters are different type. One is integer type array, another one is double type array. One is integer type array, another one is double type array. Same for this one also. Print array also, numbers and number D. Can we support this one? I said yes. This one is called function overloading or method overloading. Okay. How can the method overloading use? Let's say this one is for integers So we are passing integer minus integer is okay. Here we have to write integer $sign. We are taking local array, and that's enough. We are taking local array, and we don't need to declare here, and we don't need to take the size. We don't need to take the size. Size is already fixed. So we don't need inter elements. Inter dot length. Okay, so I equal to local array will be returned. So I will collect this one in here. Okay, fine. Now this one I will also port another one which is the same name. Just I will change the double integer to double. Here I change double. That's it. The same name, but one can be collected from double, and another one will be collected for, another one will be used for integer. So that's why basically we can call two different functions, one for integers and one for double. Okay. Let's see printf also. We have print integer array. So this one I can change to print. The name will be same. Name will be same. Just I will print here double. Yeah, that's it. Here is integer, here is double. That's make the changes. That's basically called overloading. Same functions we can call, same name functions we can call, but their parameter lists are different. Parameters are different. Parameter list or parameter type is different. So let's go for that one. Oh, so one time is done. Okay, so let's take 5. Okay, I don't want to do more. Okay, so you know my hand is, I'm doing programming 2 hours, 2 or 5 hours. So run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Entire 5 in a second. 1.1, 2.1, 3.3, 4.4, 4.0, and 5. So I have 1.1, 1.2, 1.35. So both are working. So both are same name, but both are working. I can call both. So this is basically called method overloading. Is clear? Any question? So implement method overloading with array using two methods, readArray and printArray. That's we have done. So till 7, you have task. So complete your report. So you can delete this one. Complete your report till 7. I'm not going to give you the program. I'm not going to give you the program. You have to complete the program by yourself. Yes. Which one? Yeah. Number D. Yes. Just to show you that the function is taking, sometimes it takes integer elements, and the same function name, we can take double elements as well. You cannot pass in this function to double number D, but it's working because we have two similar functions, two twin functions, but the parameter list is different. That's why same functions we are calling, same name functions, you see, same name functions, one's for integer, one's for double. Okay, the type is different. So they are called overloading function. We can use those, we can create those functions in Java. Okay. No, function overloading. Yes, same function name we are doing, printArray. Just the parameter is different. So if the parameter is integer, he find out, then he will call this one. If he find out double, then he will call this one. So for showing you the double one, that's why I have used the number D. You understand? It's okay. So do you have any more question or any concern, anything you want to talk? So I will upload this one. Maybe I will upload this one to the lectures, but I will upload the video and I will not upload the code. You have to do the coding by yourself. So I'm going to stop the review in here. I'm recording here. So I'm pausing or stopping the record. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Okay. So stop. Yeah. Now, if you have any questions, let me know.
স্যার যদি একটু এখানে ওয়েট করতেন, মানে সবাই চলে গেলে একটু পার্সোনাল কথা ছিল স্যার, যে থিসিসের বিষয়ে স্যার, 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, okay. I'm going
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to stop my share. Okay. So thank you very much. Take care of yourself, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Yeah, Sanjita, you are coming late.
Yes, sir.
You will not get
Sorry.
a test like that.